U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo must frame a new strategy with the nations of Southeast Asia to block China's alleged aggression in the region, 4 Democratic senators wrote in a letter. Senator Bob Menendez, ranking member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, was joined by Senators Ed Markey, Patrick Leahy, and Brian Schatz in calling on the Trump administration to do more to deter further Chinese aggression in the South China Sea. In a letter to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, the senators urged the administration to put China's expansionist behavior in the South China Sea at the center of its discussions at the upcoming regional forum of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. A South China Sea where international law is respected, freedom of navigation is ensured, commerce flows freely, multilateral regional organizations are essential, and regional countries are not subject to coercion is crucial to American interests in the Indo-Pacific. China's intimidation, coercion, rejection of peaceful diplomatic arbitration, and threats of the use of force over the past several years represent a serious challenge to those interests. According to the Director of National Intelligence's Worldwide Threat Assessment of 2019, China seeks to achieve effective control over its claimed waters with a whole-of-government strategy, compel Southeast Asian claimants to acquiesce in China's claims, at least tacitly, and bolster Beijing's narrative in the region that the United States is in decline and China's preeminence is inevitable. While the administration has rightly highlighted China's militarization of the South China Sea, and we welcome the regular and routine conduct of freedom of navigation assertions, we are concerned that much more is needed to counter China's aggressive activities and impede its drive to operate with impunity in the South China Sea. This challenge requires a fully articulated and comprehensive strategy and a regional consensus with allies and partners, with ASEAN at the center of those efforts, 4 Democratic senators said. Earlier this month, the State Department expressed concern about reports that China has interfered with oil and gas exploration in the South China Sea. It singled out Vietnam as a particular concern for the U.S. The department condemned China's coercion and intimidation of countries in the region, and said attempts to prevent nations from joining together was destabilizing. China has asserted ownership of large swaths of the South China Sea. U.S. officials say this is a violation of international law and has interfered with Vietnamese development plans. Vessels from China and Vietnam's coast guards have patrolled the area in recent weeks. The majority of islands in the South China Sea are controlled by Beijing. However, the territory is also claimed by several other countries, including Vietnam, Cambodia, Indonesia, Brunei, and the Philippines. Relations between the United States and China have been strained since last year when Washington imposed tariffs on imports from Beijing. China criticized the U.S. move and came up with a set of retaliatory steps that have escalated in a tit-for-tat trade war. Thank you.